So on today's episode, we've got Mighty with us, a proud Guatemalan artist who's been making waves online with her music. She's still early in her career, but she's already building something real. In her song, Take Me Home, has been connecting with a lot of people. I'm big on highlighting talent from like our culture. So I'm really excited that, we're able to have you here and just get right into your story.
Thank you so much for having me.
Um, for people who don't know you, who is Mighty?
Mari is an independent Guatemalan-American artist. I like to say Guatemalan-American because it's just the two places I feel like where my roots are at, because I'm like putting something into a box. Um, but yeah, I love to make music in both languages because that's how I was raised. I like making music from both cultures because it's how I grew up listening to music. I also don't just like make music. I mean, I love sports. I grew up an athlete. Um, I love business. I love learning, listening. Um, and I actually really have come to like talking, which
Yeah.
sounds really weird, but, before I don't think I was really great at, like, expressing myself, but I think, like, music has really brought that out of me. Um,
Talking in what form, like in
and just,
person or
like,
like more?
in person, yeah, and just, like, hearing people's stories and then also learning how to tell them, I
Mm,
think that's, like, a big part of why I love creating.
yeah.
Um, and I love performing. I really do. I love performing with the band. I love live music. It's like one of my favorite things to do. And yeah, it's a little bit about who I am, I think. Mhm.
That's awesome. How would you describe your music style for somebody, you know, someone new?
Yeah. I would say like my goal at least, I don't know if like this is what people feel is like my goal is really to be like timeless. I love that's actually one of my favorite aspects of like Latin music. The music that my friends who are Latinos are like obsessed with now or like still listen to
Mm,
are the same ones that my mom played on the radio when I was growing up. And I feel like that is something that like I really strive for. So I hope that's what people hear when they listen to my music. I also think it's like very much it moves you and both hopefully physically and then also like emotionally. I really do think even with my latest song, it's like kind of has like a little bit reggaeton Afrobeat kind of feel. It has Spanish in it, has English in it, but then like kind of like in the middle of it, I just start belting. And like I don't know how common that is really. Oh, but that's just how I felt.
yeah.
And so I really want to bring music back to where you feel it. And
Mm.
I think there's a lack of that, and I really love doing it, so it really works out.
How would you,
Yeah,
how would you say you got introduced to music? Like, was it something you always had at home? Like your
right.
dad blasting music, your mom?
Totally.
Or as for me, like I love salsa because my dad's
Yes.
always blasted salsa on
Mhm.
Saturday mornings.
Yes.
So I'm just a sucker for like anything cultural.
Right.
What would that be for you?
Totally. So,
What
I
set the
guess
tone?
yeah, this that set the tone. Well, I guess so, like, my dad is from West Virginia,
Okay.
which is like my mom's from Guatemala.
Yeah.
So, I listen to very different music,
Mm,
like, all the time. I was like Johnny Cash and then, like, Luis Miguel,
that's great.
Shania Twain, and then Pedro Infante.
Yeah, yeah.
It was really weird, but I really loved it. Even the accents in my home. Like, my grandpa, he has, like, a very Southern
So,
heavy accent, and my mom has, like, a very much, like she sounds like Sofia Vergara, like, she's got,
oh
like, a
yeah.
heavy, thick accent. So, just, like, the sounds and everything in my ear were it's weird, like, for some people, it might have been different, but they actually sounded the same to me.
Mm,
Like, some of the storytelling in Spanish was similar to the country music, the same storytelling that delivered.
yeah.
So, I thought that was always interesting, and that's what I loved listening to. Both of those types of music still made me feel, which is why I think I love doing the music I do now.
Mm,
In terms of actual music itself, I grew up playing violin, which was really what got me started. And then I just like always loved singing. I just always was singing, and then I kind of begged my parents to like let me do vocal lessons. And then I kind of did that for as long as I could, I think until college. I played basketball in college, so I didn't really have as much time for it. And I was just really like studying and doing basketball. But I was always singing like in my dorm. And I was going up to LA to just to do music. Like I would just throw myself in sessions to continue doing what I could. But that's kind of like the roots of like where things started for
Mm.
me at least. Yeah.
What positions did you play?
I was a
It says a
guard.
lot about your character.
Yeah, yes, it does.
So you played
Yeah.
middle school, high school, and college?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I actually
Sweet ball.
got to play a little bit for like Team Guatemala, like in the
Really?
summer. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I was actually really highly considering playing with the team. I did like like I went
Team
to like a
Guatemala,
couple,
like the national team?
like the national
Oh,
team.
wow.
So I wanted to like, I had a few practices like with them and they had asked me for like info on, my stats and everything. And then I was still in college. So like contractually, I definitely was not able to do that. And then also like, I think I had to decide in that time, like, okay,
Mhm.
what are you doing for
That
the
would have
rest of
been
your life?
different.
It's like I could, I could do this, like I really could, but I at that time I had never really given music like its full chance. And that's the thing. I felt like doing music was always a fight for me. Like I always had to fight or prove myself that like I deserved to do it. And then when I graduated, I was like, wait, I actually have like free will. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do this.
Were your
Yeah.
parents, like, on you heavily? Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was not allowed to do music really.
oh, really?
I they just highly encouraged me not to like well, I know have no artists in my family. So like and I think growing up the safer route what my parents worked so hard for to then
Safer. That's the
the
key word.
safer route,
Yeah.
yeah, is always to just do what everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I studied business marketing. I got my degree. I got it as fast as I could because I just knew I wanted to do music. So, like, just get the degree, and then you can do music. So I did that. I worked really hard. I played basketball. I tried to get out of there as quick as I could. So I got out in like 3 years.
Oh.
But yeah, I always grew up playing guard. Guard, yeah. It's always a guard.
Shooting guard.
Shooting guard.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
So you already have that business mindset, and,
Yeah.
I
Mm,
think music, you could it's an art, right? But
totally.
it's a business.
It's a
Music
business.
is a business. It is. So that's good that you have that background.
Yeah.
So it kind of prepares for it in a way.
Mhm.
As far as, like, in the household, right? I find it very interesting. So you have your father was from West Virginia,
Mhm.
and then your mother, is Chapina.
Chapin.
How did they meet? Quick, like, story on that.
No, yeah, no, it's a very interesting story. So my mom was working they were working at the same company, but my mom was in the international department.
Okay.
And then I think my dad,
In
like,
West Virginia?
in Connecticut,
Connecticut.
randomly, they were both in Connecticut. So my mom had finally moved out of Guatemala, and she had a lot of hardship there with going on, and so she just decided she was gonna just find a better life
She
here in the
migrated
States.
to
So
kind
she
of.
migrated. So she had I think it was actually the same like company from Guatemala, but they had like another base in
Oh, yeah.
Connecticut. So she moved there and then my dad was there and my dad saw her on the elevator and was just like, that's like the most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
Oh, wow.
And then he kind of like quote unquote like stalked her a bit. He was calling around the office like, "Who's this girl? What's her name?"
Oh, that's
And then yeah, and then actually for their first date, he took her to a Mexican restaurant. He didn't know that she was Guatemalan. And so she was like, I'm not Mexican,
that's where he
right?
slipped up.
Yeah, and she was like, first mistake.
That's
But yeah, no, I mean, it worked out 3 years later or
that's so
30
cool.
years, 30 something years later, there's 3 kids. So
3 kids.
yeah.
Are you, brother,
I
sisters?
have 2 older brothers. I have 2 older
So you're the
brothers.
younger one?
I'm the youngest.
So,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
mixed. I have 8 siblings.
Oh,
Well, it's
wow.
8 of us in total
Oh my gosh.
from the
Thanks.
last one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're a little spoiled,
Yeah.
more than we should be.
You guys have a good time.
Yeah, and, like, in the household, right? So you have a Caucasian father
Right.
and a Guatemalan mother. Who was more, like, the heavier hand? Like, who are you afraid of more or
Oh,
growing up?
my mom, like, no question,
Yeah?
1,000%, yeah. My dad is, like, the most chill person, and my mom, I think just being Japina in general, she's just, like, a little bit higher strung,
Yeah, yeah.
but it really shaped who I am, both of their personalities. My mom, I mean, since I'm the only girl, really, like, there's not a lot of girls in my family, like, at all. My mom was pretty set on, like, how she knew she wanted to raise me,
uh
because of what she went through in Guatemala,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
and, yeah, it was very, very strict household rules all the time. I mean, I was not allowed to slip up pretty much ever.
Really?
But my dad, I think since my mom chose and my dad chose to like raise us here in the States, my dad understood a little bit more of what it was growing up in the States, but like my mom did not. So therefore my
Makes
mom's like
sense.
reality really shaped ours and like So that kind of like strict upbringing really stemmed from like that Guatemalan culture, I think. But I really appreciate it now because I work as hard as I do
Yeah.
and act the way I do. And the things that I like about myself are really from that. But I didn't like it growing up. I mean, it
I
was
don't think
pretty
anybody
terrible.
does. So
No,
you would say your
you
dad
never
was
know.
alcahueta. You know what alcahueta means?
What was that?
Alcahueta?
No.
It's like, your mom's like, "Don't do this," and
Yeah.
you run to your dad.
Yeah, oh, yeah, Dad, please. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, no, totally. I mean, he was working a lot too, like, I mean, he obviously was, like, as present as he could be, but,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, my mom was there for, like, everything. Cause she was, like I remember I wanted to, like, run, like, a fast mile for, like, PE, and I was like, "Ma, I gotta, like, first." She was like, hell yeah, you gotta be first." I was like, "Alright." So, I feel like that's the best part about that like, one of the best parts about that culture too.
Mm,
Is that, like, there's so much tenacity and grit that, like, when I told my mom I want something, she was like, "Well, I don't know why you couldn't get it,"
yeah, yeah.
there's literally no reason. You have
Oh,
no
yeah,
excuse. A lot of people do kind of have excuses, right?
yeah.
Like, you don't really I put you in the best position
Like,
for you
que
to
eres
thrive.
poder type mindset.
Uh-huh, yeah,
She ever said that?
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%,
Mom
yeah.
always says that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Mhm.
Like, growing up in the household, right, what was that experience like? Did you ever find yourself dealing with, like, identity issue?
Totally, yeah.
I know, and I bring this up because I feel like there's hundreds of people out there that who might be dealing with the same thing.
Mm,
We're in a multicultural home,
mm,
but here we're Chapin
mm,
and Caucasian, right?
right.
So how was that
Totally.
experience?
I think it was interesting. I mean, I spent, like, 2 months out of the summer in Guatemala every year
Mm,
till I was maybe 13, 14. Yeah. For as long as I could until we honestly started playing, like, sports at a level where we couldn't really go to
traveling too
Guatemala in the
much.
summer, yeah.
Okay.
So I would spend my summers in Guatemala and my winters in West Virginia. That was, like, very much part of how we were raised.
Mm,
Um, the identity issue came, I think, um, really from the people in both of those cultures, which is so interesting. Um, if you were in Guatemala, like, where you quote unquote like Guatemalan enough, and if you're in America, which you're quote unquote American enough. And I think, like, really growing up, like, in, like, elementary school, there really weren't a lot of Latino kids, like, at all, really, where I went.
okay.
And so that I think was, like, a little bit interesting for me. I would simply notice that, like, the standards that my mom had set for me were not even close to my peers. They weren't even like, my mom would yell at me in front of my peers in Spanish, and they would be, like, laughing, and I didn't care. It didn't, like, hurt my feelings, but, like,
Yeah.
even that simple thing, I was like, "Oh, that's interesting, I guess," like, and I didn't realize it till later that that wasn't, like, quote unquote, like, normal for them. Um,
Mm,
so I think I was a little insecure, and I think a lot of people who have, like, immigrant parents maybe experience this. Then you get insecure about speaking Spanish, because no one else is doing it, and it's not very cool. And there was times where, like, my brothers were answering teachers in Spanish, and
wow.
they weren't teaching Spanish at that school,
Yeah.
and my mom got nervous because she didn't want them to be, like, held back or anything, but we were all learning the 2 languages at one time, right? And so there was a lot of times where I think, like, that identity became an issue when we were in one place, but then when we went back to that place in the summer and, like, I'm, like, riding a horse in Guatemala in the middle of Zacapa, I'm, like, free as a bird, I'm like, "I have no identity issues right now because I feel like I belong here?" So, I guess, like, it really just depended on, like, where I was at, but I think that's really the biggest part of, like, why I love to do what I do, why I like making music in both languages because
Yeah.
I'm still not perfect as perfect Spanish speaker. I get corrected all the time. I'm not good.
También.
Yeah, yeah, that's like, isn't that beautiful though? That I think that we get to grow in these cultures, and when we're learning more about cultures, we're learning more about ourselves. And I think that's, like, the biggest thing I want to encourage people, like, with my music, is that, like, dive into your roots,
Yeah.
know where you come from,
Yeah.
because there's a reason you are the way you are. It's actually probably a lot to do with where you came from and how you were raised. And so the more I realized that, the better I grew into my identity. I was like, "Oh, I am both,
Yeah.
and I actually can't help it." sorry, my parents made me, and that's okay. So I think like when you accept that you are from where you are, that identity piece becomes a little bit easier.
You accept who you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then when you don't, you struggle. You're like, oh, I have to choose. You don't have to choose. Like that's the whole
Yeah.
point. You actually, I think that was kind of supposed to be the point of like countries like America,
Yeah.
right? Like, I think that's what it was supposed to be, that you actually can choose, and that's the beauty of it, and I wish we could obtain that, like, as a culture,
Yeah.
instead of, like, bashing people, "Oh, you can't wear that because you're only half," or, like, "You can't do this, you can't speak that way." It's like, why? I don't think that's the case at all. They are who they are, like
Have you felt that, especially online?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What are some comments that
Yeah. I would say I do wanna be so empathetic towards the situation, like, for example, I just said I spent, like, 2 months in the summer.
I don't think that's fair because they have no say. Like
No,
people are
true.
like, I mean, what have you heard? I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know.
I guess I would say, like, "You can't call yourself Chapina."
Oh,
And I'd be like, "Well, that's interesting." Like, I I very much feel it.
yeah, yeah,
And, I mean, but do I hear that person out? For sure. Yeah, I get to go outside and not really worry. If honestly, like, if I'm not in Zacapa,
yeah,
like, honestly, like, I know a lot of people in Zacapa, like, literally walk outside worried if they're gonna get shot. Like,
yeah,
that's a very like, harsh reality of Guatemala,
for
or
sure.
food on their table. Like, yes, I have had more opportunity as being, like, born here. I
Yeah,
totally understand that. But,
for sure.
as someone who is trying to, like, explore their roots, I think that is, like, an issue for sure. And we're not the only culture that experiences that.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
there's a lot of cultures that don't let people accept where they're from. And then there's this huge disconnect. And I'm like, that's why we're disconnected a little bit,
yeah,
We're not accepting that. So I think on the internet that's been interesting. But that's why I don't fully call myself like really try not to ever just say like I'm just Guatemalan. I like to say like I'm both. That's why I
yeah.
do my languages and both.
Mhm.
Um but yeah, that's been a little bit difficult. But honestly, the other side of it has been like the best support ever. Like Guatemalans, they go so hard for their
Yeah, we're
people.
so supportive.
So
I love
supportive.
that.
I love it. I mean, literally, it's changed my life. I was trying so many things on social media to get my music out there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't figure it out. With the algorithms, you have to really try
It's a
everything.
code.
It's a code. And then like all I had to say was my what I am. And I was accepted by millions. I was like, come on,
And
that's
you're just being
beautiful.
real.
I was just being so real.
Just be yourself.
I was like, and it's crazy because even with music, I had been trying to find quote unquote my sound.
Yeah,
And like when I make songs, I typically like I try to find the melody first. A lot of songwriters or artists like sometimes they sit and they find the lyrics and then they find the melody later. I like to find the melody first. And there's this process called top lining.
oh,
And basically, you kind of just hum gibberish. And then sometimes, like for me, the truth will come out. And for me, it sometimes comes out in English, and then sometimes it comes out in Spanish. And so when I was making this song, "Take Me On," it was coming out in both. And like I was like forcing myself. I was like, "No, you gotta choose one. This is too complicated. Choose one." And then I was like, "Wait, no, I don't need to choose one.
yeah,
Makes no sense. Let me just
yeah,
do both." And and so then I put that experience online. I was like, "This is why you should listen to someone with these kinds of roots."
yeah, yeah.
And it I was like, "Oh, man, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's super cool. I love that."
You know what it is? I think it's just community.
Totally. Yeah.
And we live in a society where it starts from like a younger age.
Mhm.
Growing up, maybe you remember back to your little, you always want to be a part of a group.
Yes. 100%.
If it was like a cool group, you're a nerd, you looked around, everybody's in a group.
Yeah.
It's the same psychology that works as
Yeah.
we're older.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it helps and that's why it clicks so naturally.
Yeah.
And Guatemalans are very supportive,
Mhm.
they're like, oh, there's something that,
Yeah.
um, so that's just, yeah, it just clicks. I don't know. It's pretty cool. And it's interesting. You said when you're, it's like about riding a horse.
Mhm.
Yeah, you feel rooted.
Mhm.
I've never felt like, even more rooted when I'm home. Also, right? I'm not from where, like, I wasn't born there, but
Yeah.
I'm born and raised here in LA. But you feel more connected.
Isn't that amazing? I like really feel like my most self
Yeah.
there, and I
Yeah.
can't describe it.
That's because I've said it in a video before. I haven't even like posted it, but
Yeah.
I talk about that.
Yeah.
I feel rooted. You just feel.
So
Oh,
true.
wow, that's interesting.
I think there is like a spiritual element there, like think about like your ancestors and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
your
yeah,
parents. Like, I mean, it's literally in your DNA,
yeah.
like where you come from. That's why I encourage it because like literally when I would go home, what I would call home there, like my uncle who passed away, but like he would, it felt like it just felt like freedom.
Mm.
It really just felt like the most free thing for my brothers and I to honestly, this sounds interesting, but like the pressure that we dealt with here, and then we would go there and we could just honestly do whatever we wanted, but also like just talk to the people on the street, walk. Yeah, is very, very interesting. Specifically Zacapa, I think.
Is that where your family's from?
My family's from Zacapa. Yeah.
Sakal.
Yeah. And I I never like actually spent too much time in the city
Isn't that
growing
where the rum's from?
the rum is from there. It's like up
Sounds like
Cincinnati.
Sakal.
Yeah, and the coffee grounds, the
Yeah.
fruit. I mean, a lot of the farming takes place up in there.
Okay.
And that's why I was saying, like, I mean, I know there's horses everywhere, but
Mm.
like that's most of my family has like fincas over there. So
Oh, okay.
we spent a lot of time like on the farm, and like I think I ride a horse maybe a little bit better than I drive a car. Like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I just like grew up, and that was another thing. Like, when you come back from summer vacation, and everyone's like the teacher's like, "What'd you do?" I'm like, "I rode a horse." And they're like, "Wow, it's interesting." Someone's like, "I went to Utah." I don't know. It's just like very, very different. But I'm like, "I milked a cow." I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
yeah." But my mom was so like so adamant about us having those experiences because that's what shaped her.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I love it though.
What's your favorite tradition, like in the Guatemalan culture?
I mean, I don't know if it's as much as a tradition to just like talk about the food, but like the
Food.
food is just so fresh, I
Yeah.
think, over there too, like,
What food reminds you of home?
I mean, immediately, like, plátanos.
What kind of?
Plátanos, frijolitos, like, I love that, like, breakfast and dinner, at least this is, like, in my family, I'm not sure if this is the same, but
Mm.
that's, like, a constant, like, repeat, like, frijolitos, plátanos, y huevitos, yeah,
Dinner.
and queso fresco.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, this is
That's like last
perfect."
resort.
Yeah,
It's like
it's, like,
comfort
every
food
meal.
almost.
I know, it's kinda crazy, and I'm like, I will
But it
literally
hits.
it hits every time. I don't
Like
even
I'm so
care.
happy with this. Forget the steak. Like I
Oh,
know
the
it hits.
steak. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's pretty insane. My family actually has like a steakhouse in Guatemala. And
Oh,
they
oh,
like my uncle. Well, it's not really one of the tios. Like he
one of
runs
the
it. One of the tios runs it, and it is definitely one of the best steaks I've ever had. Um, so yeah, I definitely think the food is like a tradition. And then I will say like going up to the farm was just such a core memory when growing up. So like now when my family goes back, like my brother's fiance just came and visited Guatemala and like
nice.
we made sure she went up to the farm and like milked a cow and like,
Yeah.
there we had like there was like 17 pregnant cows. So we got to see like the ultrasound and like stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
So to us, it's like very normal.
Yeah.
And honestly, I went and I worked a little bit the last time I was there. My biggest thing for my music now was like highlighting Guatemala in a lot of my videos that I'm putting out for my music coming out. And I wanted to make sure there were like cultural stamps that like not only was attention coming to my music, but attention was coming to the country. Because I just think Guatemala is like also one of the most beautiful places in the world.
It is.
And so I went to Antigua. I went to like my uncle's finca. I went to like a lot of different little spots. I still have not even touched the surface. Like I haven't been to Lake Atitlán to film anything yet, but I really
There's
want to
so
go
many
there.
sites to go to.
100%. Yeah,
You need a good like 2 months if you want to go through everything
exactly. Yeah. And like enjoy it,
and enjoy it. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean that was important for me to put that in there. And yeah, I really enjoyed getting to like do like work a little bit, but also like the film crew that came to help me, they were from Guate, but they had never been to Zacapa.
Mm.
So like it was weird because like for me, Zacapa is like Guatemala. Like that's the first thing I think of. But people actually
Because
don't think of
that's
that.
yeah,
Yeah. So I was like, oh yeah, this is like how I made sure like got to ride a horse.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that was a part of like the video. So it's been really cool to like kind of show people a little bit of both, even those who are from there, that like different parts of the country.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How is it at, like family reunions or get-togethers? Is it so you have I don't know a baby shower or
Yeah.
you're celebrating your somebody's birthday or something?
Mhm.
How do they coexist and what's your experience? What has been your experience with that
My
when both
experience
cultures collide?
so from, like, my dad and my mom's side, I would say it's so my parents actually got married in Guatemala, which is
Oh,
amazing. So my like these bunch of people from West Virginia came to
oh wow.
Guatemala, and like it's wild. My dad actually doesn't speak Spanish at all. Yeah, and but he's able to like have like a gallo in the backyard with my uncles and somehow have a conversation
Yeah,
with like my Spanish speaking uncles. And I'll like look while I'm in the kitchen with my mom, like helping her. And I'm like, what are they talking about? Like, what could they be talking about? But they like very much get along. They love my dad. My
yeah.
dad, so I haven't felt like there's been any like awkward or
Mm,
anything, like no animosity or anything. I mean, it's just different. Like, it really is just different. Like how, I said, like I would say like the gringa side is a little bit like a little more laid back,
yeah,
very, very, very chill. And then
yeah.
like Guatemala is, like, constantly dancing,
Does
like,
your mom
over
have a big family?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, like, my unfortunately, a couple actually, in a couple days, it'll be, like, the anniversary of my uncle passing, and that was my mom's brother,
Oh,
and then, like, again, like, just, like, the harsh reality of Zacapa is just, like, there's, like, a lot of dangerous things that goes on over there, so he was unfortunately killed,
oh,
which yeah, that was kind of one of the bigger reasons we not, like, stopped, but we were just, like, a little bit more aware of like our surroundings and like how often we were going there. So I would definitely say like the family dynamic changed a little bit, you know. There's been a hole in my family for a while. He was the reason, like that was the house I stayed at in Sacapa.
oh,
And so yeah, it's been, I mean, it's still like so tough. Like that was my godfather.
oh,
I absolutely loved him and his family. Um, but the family now dynamic has changed a little bit because it just not because of anything besides there's just like a hole in our hearts,
yeah.
you know.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's like something that my mom like had to deal with a lot. My mom didn't grow up with parents. They were both like killed, and um, I think that's why she was so adamant about us having a different life here, because her harsh reality of Guatemala was that there was not a lot of people for her to grow up around, and she was determined for her kids to have like a significant better life, and I mean, she's done a great job.
Yeah.
But that's like a little bit of our dynamic is like understanding also where my mom has come from and and making a better life out of it, I
Mm,
guess. Quote unquote. Yeah.
wow.
Mhm.
That's so cool. I mean,
Yeah.
well, it's not cool, but
No, no, no.
the dynamic and how you guys are able to coexist. I felt too that Guatemala is just very welcoming.
Yeah.
I'm sure you when the cultures collided, it was just felt welcome.
Totally, like, that the fact that they're able to, like, be out there for, like, hours and not speak the same language
Yeah.
and totally feel fine amongst each other, it always makes me laugh. I'm like, "Oh, they love that guy."
So recently, I was diving into your music,
Mhm.
and you have a house. So
House song, yes.
I love house.
Okay.
My girlfriend love house. When's the next house?
Ooh, that would be fun.
How did it come about? Because you were what's it called? It's
It's
called.
called Héroe de México.
How did it come about?
Oddly enough, yeah, I did make one about Guatemala. So, it was during the pandemic. I had gotten a sync brief, which if you sync is basically anything to do with like movies and shows, music for TV or for like filmmaking, or even video games. And I had gotten this brief. It was like this really cool brief. It was like um, the Robin Hood of Mexico, basically this guy like back in the day, like 1800s, he would steal from Mexico and then he would bring, or no, sorry, he would steal from the United States and he would bring things to Mexico. So they called him the Héroe de México, Peruviano de los Estados. And so, um, I think it was actually a true story, and they called him like this Robin Hood, right?
Mm,
And so they were like, someone sent it to me, and this is actually the beginning of when I realized I like loved writing in Spanish.
mm,
Um, and they're like, make a song. I got the brief at 7 p.m. It was due at midnight. This is so sick. This is so actually, this is so music industry coded. They're like, finish this. I'm in my parents' garage because I lived at home at the time.
mm.
It's summer. I'm sweating my butt off. And I'm like writing this song. And I think I went into like a different headspace because I just like turned it on or something. And I wrote and recorded it and sent it like by 10
Oh wow.
actually. And it didn't go through. It was COVID. The show didn't go through.
Okay.
And I was like, dang. It's such a bummer. I really love that song. Like, I love its message and, like, even the chorus of me, like, "Da," like, really belting it. I really felt that, you know? So I was
So
really
you're just in
bummed.
the garage, just strings,
It's just yelling.
yeah,
It's like
singing it nonstop.
yeah, and my parents were like, "Alright, just like do your thing." My neighbors were probably always so confused, but
But it sounds really good.
yeah, I did it in my garage. The logic, like, super, super simple. So then, like, I had that song
Okay.
in my quote unquote
It
like
was
home
house
studio.
or was it originally something
No,
else?
it was originally like totally just like
Oh,
a film thing. And then like years later, Systec's label like reaches out to me.
they heard it somehow?
They were asking people for Latin music because he's from Chile and he was
He's from where? Chile?
Chile.
Oh, okay.
He's from Chile, and so he was, like, looking, I think, for, like, Latin to do make Latin house,
Mm.
and I had, like, 3 songs that he really liked, and one of them we couldn't use because of, like, producer rights and stuff, but this other one, I was like I asked the producers, like, "Hey, can I send this to DJ?" And we heard the remix, and I was like, "This is really sick."
Yeah.
And I think it hit, like, 1,000,000 streams, like, very, very quickly. It's at 3,000,000 now.
Oh, wow.
But it was it's a completely different song. I was thinking about putting it on, like, maybe my album, just like the original one so
Uh-huh.
people can hear it, but yeah, I
Should.
love it. I mean, he's super talented.
Can you put that on your album with
Yeah.
him on it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
We can definitely have System on the album. I mean, he likes the song that's coming out, TQ of
yeah.
Tehueme. I don't know if he'll do like a remix to it, but yeah, I love
Yeah.
his house style
You
specifically.
like house?
I do like house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I love like Kaytranada. Like I think that would be like a dream Latin house collab with Kaytranada. Oh, really?
More like a Rufus guy.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know Rufus?
Yeah. I like Rufus and Soul. Mm-hmm.
Um, that's cool.
Yeah.
So no house music anytime soon.
Not anytime soon, but, like, definitely I see
I
myself
see you just throwing in there and
just throw I got just for you.
just do it,
I'll
man.
call it, like, Raíces Maya, like,
Yeah,
so the Raíces Maya house
exactly.
mix, yeah.
So instead of Héroe de Mexico,
Uh-huh.
Héroe de Guate.
Héroe de Guate. No, necesitamos uno de esos. I'm like, really? That would be
That means so.
yeah, I know. I got a lot of people like, "Why'd you write a song about Mexico if you're Guatemalan?" I was like, "So backstory."
Long story.
Yeah.
What food in no, we were talking food. Food wise, in LA, what's your favorite Guatemalan restaurant in LA?
So, I haven't really had too many chances to explore. Honestly, I was in Ben Carrillo's music video, and we went to the Banderia in downtown LA.
No.
It's the
Is that where you made that one song, the Centro Americana song?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay, okay.
we did it, and I got to try some of their food, and it
Oh,
was
nice.
really, really good. I don't remember the exact name of it. I gotta look it up, but I know exactly where it is. I like passed by it so much going through downtown,
Yeah.
and there's actually a place by me in Hawthorne, Cafe
Hello?
Rey, and I really love their matcha. They have like a chapina breakfast that's really, really good. I actually went there for my birthday because I was like, oh, I want to go.
Yeah.
So I took my family there, and then we were like rode bikes on the beach afterwards. But that one I really like.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I honestly I have to say my mom's a fantastic cook. So when I want like a really good soup or something,
Yeah, yeah.
she does like an amazing job.
What's your
So
favorite Guatemalan dish?
honestly,
Besides
I would
las
say
plátanos.
okay. I used to not love their tamales, but
Mm.
recently my mom did tamales and she killed it.
Why, you just don't like the texture of
I
it?
didn't like the honestly, I this is so controversial. I liked the Mexican tamales
Ah,
texture more, but she made the masa a little bit more like duro. It was like a little bit
it's
harder
less
and
wet.
fluffy and less wet.
Ah,
And I really like that.
yeah.
So I would say like now I'm like kind of onto the tamales. Obviously, like the fresh tortillas that they do like on the side of the street, like oh my god, like
Yeah.
I'll I'll gain like 20 pounds.
In the beginning of like making Guatemalan content, I made this video. It was kind of controversial
Yeah.
because that I was talking. I didn't talk smack about the tamal, but I was like, I don't remember how it went. Tell me you're Guatemalan. Something about how the tamal doesn't look appetizing sometimes.
Yeah.
It just
No,
doesn't.
they don't. That's so true.
Our Guatemalan
Yeah.
tamal doesn't look appetizing, but
Yeah.
it's fire.
Yeah, it is. Once
Get
you
back
get
to
in
it.
there, it's pretty good. Yeah. And yeah, honestly, I would say that's probably top.
No hate. Yeah, they got probably ridicule me, but
I
it is what it is.
there's always haters. It's all right.
There is. How do you deal with the haters?
I don't really.
Just block it out.
Yeah, I'd say like okay, of course I can read. So like I do see it. But I think a lot of basketball has honestly helped me with that. A
Mm,
lot of that sports mentality.
right.
It just like let it fuel you. And not only that, it's just like really, I don't know, if it's not helping you, then just like
It's just gotta block it out.
just keep going.
I
Yeah.
used to dive into it too much. I used to just read and respond. And I mean, I kind of do sometimes still, but
Yeah,
I don't. I'm not like trying to make a war anymore.
totally. I think this the especially the internet culture needs a little bit more love. Actually, I kinda sometimes I do like when they say something like, "This is auto tune." And I'm like, "Oh, perfect. I need to make a video anyway." And I'll just like sing.
Yeah.
So like, well, that's good. Really works out for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take me home.
Mhm.
What's the story behind that song?
So it's so funny. I just did a live recording session with my band, and we were getting it mixed like over last couple weekends.
Mm.
And the engineer's like, "Is this a sex song?" And I was like, "Absolutely not. I think it's actually so not. It's actually a spiritual one, which is really funny." So a lot of my songs I think come across,
Spiritual?
yeah.
Because I have a lyric that says, He cruzado mil caminos,
Mhm,
con el pecho medio frío,
mhm,
extrañando el calor de tu voz.
mhm,
Como fuego en el sol, como fuego en el sol.
mhm.
What's that? That's a pretty cool bar.
Yeah, yeah, I
What's
love
that
that
to
part.
you? How did that come about?
So I
Is that
would
what he
say
meant? Sexual purpose?
yes, probably. I mean, even the second verse is like a little bit more intimate,
Mm,
but like even if the origin of where the song came from, if it transpires into like something a little bit more intimate over time, like that's fine for me. But really the origin came from like a spiritual sense of like kind of like God taking me home, really. And a person, but like it in the same complex. I really I think home isn't a place. Obviously, it's like what people make you feel that makes you feel at home.
right.
And a lot of like being an artist and a lot of having identity issues and all of that, you want someone to take you home. And not like in like a sexual sense. I mean like what makes someone feel comfortable to be with you in a relationship. And whether that's like platonic or not. Um, I really think that's like a huge part of love for me. I write a lot about love. Um,
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, it's probably the biggest part of my story. But yeah, so I think I'd gone a million ways. I traveled a million roads. I tried a million things. And nothing made me feel the way that God made me feel. Nothing had made me feel the way a person had made me feel.
So it's not generalized to one.
No,
So not talking about somebody.
yeah, it's
Okay.
not just one thing. I
Okay.
think it's really like it can be anything that takes you home. Like what brings you to yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that is like I think when you can find that with someone or something, that is like a superpower.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think I like really like I said, I belted in that other part of the pre-chorus. I say like if I fall, I'll find my way
Mm,
because I'll always find you and you'll always find me.
yeah.
And that was like probably the biggest part of that song.
Mhm.
Is that like someone knows how to call you home. And that means just calling you to yourself where you
Yeah.
can let your guard down. So yeah, it's so funny. It's not actually sexual, but it
I
totally
didn't see it. I didn't think it was sexual at all,
yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
I knew it was more of a spiritual thing, like
Mhm.
home, a
Mhm.
place, a person.
Totally.
I think from what I get is the person or the thing you're talking about is it's the way they make you feel.
Mhm. Totally. Yeah.
And maybe that person's gone now, and
Mhm.
then you're going through miles of
Yeah.
of life. And yeah, I love that song. It's a
Yeah.
really good song. I
Thanks.
think what separates artists. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not huge into like music. You asked me about one artist. I wouldn't really know what to tell you.
Right.
Um, but it's great music.
Yeah. Thank
I'm a big like Sade person and
mhm.
Erica Badu, and it's like that's what I get. This type of vibe that I get when I
Totally.
hear.
Oh, thank you.
So you're the Guatemalan uh, Sade.
Oh, man. That is, like, a huge compliment. I love Sade. I love how timeless her music is.
Yeah.
I love Erykah Badu. I mean, so much culture in there.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel like it's a blessing to get to do what we do, for sure.
100%.
Mhm.
Um, I have a question about family. What's the biggest lesson that family has taught you?
Mm. I'd say resilience,
Resilience.
specifically my, like, Guatemalan side.
Yeah.
Actually both really, but I've never I've never met a Guatemalan that doesn't work hard.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I
We
mean?
work so hard.
Work so hard, and there's passion in everything that we do. I really find that to be
Mm,
true. Um, and I think that's the biggest thing, like I said earlier, like my mom, uh, maybe she didn't encourage me to do what I do now, but she knows that there's a fire in me that comes, I think, from being Guatemalan, and I found that in every single Guatemalan I met.
Yeah.
Is there's some kind of like algo en tu sangre que that just pushes you, you know? And I think that comes from the culture. You know, there's like a fiery passion in the culture.
Yeah.
That is there's nothing that's gonna get between someone, or maybe even like let's just say like a Latino from where they want to be or from where they need to be because of what's built inside of them. And I think like that's something my family has always taught me, and not only taught me but like encouraged and shown me. You know, like I watched how my mom presented herself. I watched how even my cousins who are there now, like my family who's there now, I see how they present themselves. I see how they work. And there's nothing getting in between. I think a lot of Latinos from doing what they want to do, from their dreams, from getting food on their family's table,
Yeah.
from spreading awareness about their culture.
Mm.
Um, I do think that's something that I recognize. Like there's a huge amount of resilience in that, and I love being a part of it. I
Yeah.
really do, and I take it into every single thing I do. It's very hard for me to half-ass anything. Um, yeah, I care too much, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I've just accepted it about myself. I'll never be able to do anything half-ass.
Yeah.
It never worked out half-ass. I can never do anything
It's
just
always
like to
one
the
more.
minimum. It's always one more. Yeah, 100%. But I love it, and I think that's something I'm really thankful that my family has taught me. Even
Yeah.
my not only my mom, but her sister and like my cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah, sister's kids.
Yeah.
We're all very similar in that way.
What's one word? What the word that comes to your mind when you think about Guatemala?
Yeah, it was probably that. Honestly, resilience.
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 That's a powerful one.
Yeah, I think
That would
we're
be it.
very resilient group of people. Like I said, no one works as hard as as in my opinion, as Guatemalans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, there's so much passion there. There's so much drive. There's grit to keep going, and with that, I think comes love. You know, like love definitely comes after that. But that first push, that first thing you see, the first thing you feel when you meet someone like that, I think is very much resilient.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. What's one piece of advice that you would give to a multicultural, like young girl or young boy that might be in your shoes, or who has different cultures, who's dealing with like identity issues, or
Oh,
what's something you would
yeah.
tell them?
I think it's very easy for me to sit here and be like, "Don't be afraid," because it's like it's almost like someone's like, "Don't think about the elephant. You're thinking about the you know."
Mm.
I don't think that's easy to say, but I will say like, don't let fear lead you into finding who you are. Don't let that be the leading factor. Uh, let the longing of finding who you are be the leader, and you'll be very both surprised and then I think settled for what you find. Like you said, when you go home, there's some kind of like release,
Yeah.
and I feel that in the middle of the farm on top of like of a mountain with my horse. Like it's
Yeah.
really random, but that's what I feel. Where I feel it in like the drums of a lot of these songs.
Yeah.
Don't be like shocked about what you find. Just like let it hit you, accept it, and if you don't like it, I'm sure it'll wash away. Like it's kind of like just letting it hit you like water,
Yeah.
letting that wave hit you. Um, and I think there was a lot of fear for me too, because I didn't want to quote unquote make mistakes, especially like in the language. You know, I lived in Santiago, Chile for 2 months.
Really?
Yeah, I lived with a family out there, and
How old are you then?
I was 20. I turned 21 over there. Actually,
Okay.
yes, it was amazing. I love my Chile family. Um, and I actually think I have a little bit of like a Chilean accent or something because of that. Um, but
So you have family who lives in Chile now?
no, no. Well, they're not blood, but I
Oh.
do love them. Yeah, no, I lived with a host family.
Oh.
So I got to like really be I feel like in the culture
Oh.
fully.
Okay. Okay.
And I think there was a lot of fear there because one, I didn't want to mess up. I didn't feel like I was quote unquote like Latina enough. And like never once did they feel that way about me. You know, it's really just that inner monologue that I think is telling you quote unquote these lies, but it's not necessarily true. Once I fully let that go, I fully like accepted the language, even though the Spanish in Chile is
It's
very, very
different.
hard to understand.
They
I
have a
was
rich
still
accent, huh?
very rich and se dicen po después de cada palabra. It's como sí po, no po.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I love it though. It's super cute.
That's different.
Yeah, it's really different. But I get like because I let that fear you can let fear get in the way
Mm.
of doing what you want and love, or you could just let it go,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's a lot easier.
yeah.
So yeah. Hmm.
That's interesting. So you're from LA.
Hmm.
Well, you came to LA. What age did you come to LA?
No, I was born
Where?
in Orange County
Oh, so
actually.
you okay? You get
So I was born in La Habra. Hmm.
okay.
Yeah. So my mom came here.
That's like OC now.
OC. I'm like 15 minutes from Disneyland.
Oh,
Yeah, Fullerton area.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so my mom came here and then met my dad, and then she later became a citizen when I was like in 5th grade. So that was really
Okay.
cool. I got to watch my mom become a citizen.
Nice.
And then yeah, so we all grew up here, like spent a lot of time on both parts of the country, honestly. So yeah, and then obviously in Guatemala. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
That's so cool. What what do you have coming up? What are your what's your vision for 2026 and what are you most excited about?
Oh my gosh.
I know you have a new song coming out.
New song coming out,
Two two two.
222. Yep, got to Take It With Me. That one I think is gonna be really cool. Yeah, I've gotten, like, a lot of good feedback on that on social media. I honestly was not gonna even release that song. It's so funny. It's like a lot of these songs I
Really?
wasn't even gonna put out. Yeah, and then, like, I let, like, that fear
What is it?
get
A
in the
fear,
way.
huh?
It's a fear thing, yeah, and, those comments, like, I used to let those things get to me a lot, but, honestly, the encouragement has been amazing. Obviously, it's not
Yeah.
a thing anymore, so I do have an album coming out. I mean, I'm praying and hoping that that is this year. It's really just like a time and money thing, um and then I really am planning on doing a lot more cities this year. So I have like we're going to Idaho for a festival, our first festival in March in Boise, Idaho, which I'm really, really excited about. Going to city in New York in March, gonna be in Miami. So I'm definitely traveling a lot this year, trying to meet as many of these people who are saying that they want to meet me. So
Yeah, yeah.
and then we're no promises, but we are trying to set up, something where we can be in Central America for, like, a
That's
few
cool.
weeks, yeah, so we would love to be in Guatemala, Costa Rica, Honduras, y El Salvador,
Okay.
and,
Live shows?
live shows, yeah, I would love to do some live shows there, so, I mean, I definitely will be doing stuff in Guatemala, like,
Yeah.
100%, and, I have a band member a lot of my band members are from, like, Latin countries, so, it's easier for us to, like, go to their home and, like, play there, so one of them is from Costa Rica, so we're gonna try to definitely do something over there, tour over there, not sure when, hopefully, like, we'll open for someone or something, hopefully this music gets some traction and we can make that happen. But I mean, truthfully, like 2025 was one of the hardest years I think I've ever experienced, like in my life. And 2026 has felt like it's been a lot of the fruit of that labor. And it's been so nice to just like all these applications I put in are like coming to life or things like that. So we'll be doing our typical shows. We play at Disney, like kind of like a residency at Disney. We play there like once or twice a month. Anaheim Packing House, like all our shows in OC, we'll still continue to do.
Those shows at Disney, you play your music or is
We do both.
oh
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, we do both. We do
So if you
one.
guys want to hear
Yeah.
concert, we go to Disney.
100%. Go to Disney downtown in the park. Sometimes we're at the hotel. But yeah, we have a lot of exciting things coming up, and I just feel so lucky to be a part of. I've been accepted into this like new community of people of fans. Like
Yeah.
this would not be anything
How
without
long ago did you start like promoting more of hey, tell me that?
literally 4 or 5 months ago.
Really?
Yeah,
Big difference. Huh?
taken so long for me to put that out there. No, I mean, yeah, it's kind of insane. I can't believe it's only been that little,
Yeah.
but it's crazy because I've been doing music for a long time.
Mm.
But even like Ben Garillo, like I met Ben 2 or 3 years ago,
Yeah.
and I didn't realize like I didn't know he did music, like all this stuff. Because then you just don't hear about like Guatemalans doing a lot of art. And that's why I'm so big on like supporting them, and doing like even what you're doing, like with spreading awareness about the
Yeah.
culture in general.
So
So
I don't know what is maybe it's fear. I hate fear.
maybe it is fear. Maybe or there's also just like a lot of saturation, on
Mm.
the internet too. Like
Yeah.
there's like a lot going on.
That's
So
true.
it could be a lot of that as well. So
Cool.
yeah.
Well, anything you want to say to your fans, your followers?
Yeah, I mean, muchas gracias por todo el apoyo y todo su cariño en mi canción y todas las canciones de la verdad, todas las plataformas. Thank you to everyone who's continued to support me and accepting me for both cultures. If you have roots anywhere, dig into them and find yourself. I really think that's been the most helpful part of my journey. I felt so much more closer to who I am and my purpose when I decided to do that. Don't be afraid. And thank you so much for having
Of course. Thank you for coming.
me.